Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 52 of Global Crypto's Market Analysis. I'm James Preston.
And I'm Graham Tennant.
And this edition proudly sponsored by Binance Africa, bringing you the My Binance class, where you could win up to 8,500 Rand for our South African audience. I think there is an international option as well, where you could be paid in US dollar tether also. But for those of you that are in South Africa, it's 8,500 Rand. So a really great opportunity for those of you that have camera facilities at home, you have your own laptop, you have a fully KYC'd Binance account. If you do have a fully KYC'd Binance account, then all you need to do is click the link in the description and you'll be taken to the page on Global Crypto explaining how this works. You need to just pass a very short test with Binance. Once you pass that test, you then organize your own webinar, and if your webinar meets certain criteria, you could be paid out 8,500 Rand. Now, you will be paid out a certain amount, but depending on certain criteria, how many people attend, how good your presentation is, you could earn even more. So if you want to earn some cash, a little bit of extra cash, go to the link in the description and be part of the My Binance class and become a Binance tutor. So a great opportunity there. Now, Graham, huge things happening at the moment. This is it, surely.
Yeah, we've had some really good moves. We've been speaking about a breakout for some time. And yeah, the bulls are certainly running. So it is looking very good on the charts.
I mean, we've broken out of that symmetrical triangle. Take us through what that breakout looks like. Is this a clean break? Is it time to run? What do you see?
Sure. So here's my screen shared now as we see it. So we've got this big symmetrical triangle that we've pointed out numerous times on this episode. And there you can see that nice break that we've had out the upside of that triangle. And again, nothing moves in a straight line, or very seldom in the markets. And we've had a little bit of back and forth, but on the whole, I mean, we've had some really nice moves to the upside, and this is where you get rewarded as a hodler. So since we broke out the triangle, we're up over 40%. So if you've been disciplined about accumulating Bitcoin during this time over the last couple of years, you're now starting to get rewarded, because I mean, these were some really nice accumulation areas that we saw, that we pointed out a number of times. Again, this blue zone, this orange zone, you got an opportunity during the COVID crisis to pick up some really deep Bitcoin. It's quite crazy to think that we were down all the way at like $4,000 earlier this year. Now at the lofty heights, looking to kind of challenge the 14,000 level. So yeah, a pretty epic turnaround since those lows that we saw earlier in the year.
Absolutely phenomenal when you think about just earlier this year alone, we were 3 times less the price what we are now. Graham, is your bullish hat on? Are we going to continue running?
So right now, I think we potentially a little bit overextended. So we have moved really strongly the last month. We've got a number of green candles there, very strong push up. We now are running and challenging these previous local highs that we saw in the middle of 2019, and I think it's a decent possibility that we get a little bit of a pullback in the short term. But a crucial level that I do want to touch on here is the 12,000 level, which I've highlighted in this red line here, that we did break through with some nice momentum. So that was a crucial level. And the other thing I want to point to is the volume by price indicator on the left-hand side here. If that's coming through well on your screen there, you can see that anything above 12,000, there's very little historic volume.
Right.
So that shows you that there's very little resistance up at those levels, and we can run really hard through those levels. But my assessment is that I'm expecting a shorter term pullback, potentially a wind up, in order for us to clear this previous local high that we had. So let me just sketch out a potential scenario here. So this would be your bullish setup. If we get some kind of continuation pattern at this level, potentially a retest of 12,000, I think it would be your logical price level to expect a pullback to come to, and maybe something like that. So that would be a nice continuation setup. And if that starts to occur, then I'm definitely looking to accumulate some Bitcoin if we go sideways for a little while. So that would be a really nice setup for me. I mean, obviously, we can just keep on going here. Bitcoin has been known, once it gets going, it's a little bit like a steamroller, and just keeps going. But I think balance of probability, I'm expecting some kind of pullback, which would be a nice opportunity for those that have missed this breakout of the symmetrical triangle to actually enter the market and look to participate. And hopefully, what is going to be a move to 20,000 to all-time highs over the next couple of months.
Absolutely. Now, ETH, of course, has been very volatile in the midst of this move. I mean, we saw $420 just last week, right back down to $385 again. What's your expectation with regards to ETH?
Well, I just want to give you a little bit of context about comparing Bitcoin on this larger time scale to Ethereum. And now this chart is a little bit busier, but you can see that we now, since the lows that we had at the end of 2018, we've now retraced up to the 61.8% level. Can you see it on your chart? And this is potentially going to offer that resistance at this zone as well, which is part of the reason I also expect a pullback. But now just compare that to Ethereum, because that's the next chart I want to have a quick look at. And here we can see that we're nowhere near, the same level of retracement of that pullback that we've had if you compare Ethereum to Bitcoin. So Ethereum, we're not even out of the 23.6% retracement of the all-time high. So that just gives you an indication about how much more potential Ethereum has to actually move up in this next bull market. Obviously, there is the case that people are going to say, well, look, your institutional money, your big money, when the market starts running, is going to be more targeted towards Bitcoin because that's where the liquidity is. But personally, I'm more bullish for ETH on this next bull move than Bitcoin. You are going to have to stomach some additional volatility. And we have seen some of that the last couple of days, where we've seen a couple pretty significant sell-offs. And even now, we can see that we're getting a bit of a move to the downside. But I'm very bullish about ETH, and I think it can give you, that quite a significant outperformance even on Bitcoin over this next bull run.
Now, on our community chat groups, you actually shared that you had opened a long. Are you still in position?
No, I'm not. So it was a little bit unfortunate. I mean, I can actually take you through the logic of that trade briefly. So this was what I traded initially, was the symmetrical triangle setup on the 1 hour chart, which looked something like that. And then we did get the initial break to the upside. My target was a little bit higher, so I never reached my target, but I did pull my stop up to the break-even point, well, my entry point or just above. So that's what I was looking for there. I was looking for a target around 13,500, which unfortunately we never quite made. We did turn around, and I was stopped out once I had brought my stop loss just above the break-even point. And then unfortunately we did then turn around, and we got a big move up through that target level. But I think this 13,800 is going to be a challenging level to break through at the first attempt. And I think that we're seeing the start of some kind of short-term pullback. But again, that is your potential entry point if we do get a decent pullback in the short term.
And what about ETH? Are you in any positions there? Because you have spoken on a number of occasions about your bullish outlook and the potential for it to run. Is it a trade that you're looking at?
No, so no trading at the moment. Trade setups I'm looking at the moment on Ethereum or Bitcoin, because I'm expecting that short-term pullback. But I am looking for targets to accumulate for Ethereum. Just before we jump into that, I just want to quickly look at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, because this will also give you an indication about where we are relative to Bitcoin. And you can see that we've got a falling wedge that's developed. It looks like we're falling out the bottom of that right now, which is okay. And for a target on this chart, I would say this level here, which is 0.28. That would be where I would expect to be a turning point on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So that's me an indication to me now it's time to look at getting long Ethereum rather than Bitcoin. But if that does turn out, we are going to get a decent pullback, and it looks like we're seeing the start of that already on Ethereum. Yeah, so if we look at the ETH USD, this is where I'm looking to get to accumulate on a pullback. I'm expecting potentially a move to 370. For me, that would be a nice accumulation point on the ETH USD chart.
And do you think that ETH-BTC is going to give as significant a dip?
Yeah, so I do expect some more weakness in the short term for ETH Bitcoin, but a move out the bottom of a falling wedge would indicate quite an extreme kind of sell-off against Bitcoin, and I expect that to rebound back quite quickly once it does bottom out on this chart that we're looking at the moment.
So, Graham, we're running out of time here for episode number 52. Anything else that you'd like to say before we close off?
Yeah, so just for myself personally, I'm looking to accumulate Bitcoin and Ethereum, potentially on any small sell-offs that we do get. I think we're still in the early stages of the potential breakout of the symmetrical triangle, which indicates the start of this bull run. So, yeah, I think the prudent actions would be to look to accumulate where you can on any pullbacks that the market does give you, because my expectation is that we're going to be well rewarded over the next coming months.
So, I mean, short term, very difficult to say, a bit dangerous to trade, but mid-term even, things looking very, very strong and very bullish. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yes. No, we are looking very strong. I mean, yeah, again, on that macro term time frame, we've broken up with a lot of impulse. We can't really ask for much more than that if we're looking for a signal to kick off the next bull run. So, yeah, remain very bullish.
All right, so there we go. Keep an eye on our community chat channels, whether it's Telegram or WhatsApp. Also our Twitter as well, Global Crypto TV. Of course, you can check out the website and links in the description to our Telegram groups at globalcrypto.tv. And this edition, proudly sponsored by My Binance Class. All you need to do is simply have a Binance account that is KYC'd. You then just apply in the link description there in our YouTube description. You just hit that link. There'll be an opportunity for you to click through to the Binance application. Once you've applied, they'll send you all your materials. You do the class for your audience, and there's a couple of criteria. It comes down to how you present. It comes down to attendance. It comes down to engagement, and all of those criteria will add up to how much you get. The minimum that you can get is 500 Rand. That's right, 500 Rand just by clicking a few buttons and doing a tutorial. The maximum you can get is 8,500 Rand. So if you want to earn some bucks, click the link in the description and check out My Binance Class. They are giving away bucks just for teaching your community about crypto. That's where we're going to leave it for this edition, episode number 52 of the Global Crypto Market Analysis. Graham, thank you so much.
Thanks, James.
And we'll catch you all in the next edition. Coming up, of course, our podcast. We have Justin Sun of Tron. Can't wait for that. And a whole bunch of other episodes of the Global Crypto Podcast. Make sure that you're subscribed on YouTube and to our podcast channel, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, or Buzzsprout as well. Until next time, from myself, James Preston.
And myself, Graham Tennant.
It's goodbye for now.